What's going on, guys? Patrick here, bringing you a brand new video. Today we're going to do the killer video for you guys, full of information. Today we're going to be looking at, is Bitcoin having a breakout right this second? We're also going to be looking at potential for a $3,000 Bitcoin, as well as tons of other news that went on in the cryptocurrency space. But guys, before we get started with that, if you guys are interested in making money trading cryptocurrencies, make sure you check out the first link in the description or the first link in the comments for the cryptocurrency trade alert group. I post every single one of the trades that brought me to a six-figure portfolio in this group. So if you're a complete beginner, if you don't have time to do technical analysis, or you don't know how to do technical analysis, you can copy mine and my team's trades. It takes 2 to 3 minutes to set up, and after that, profits are taken automatically for you. So it becomes very, very passive. We have altcoin trades, we have leverage trades, and we have the #1 community in the cryptocurrency space, full of people ready and able to answer any question that you have 24/7. Not to mention, we have a free trial going on for 14 days. So once you sign up, if you realize this is not for you and you don't want to be a part of this anymore and you don't want to get charged, send us an email. We will cancel your membership and you won't be charged. As long as it's within the 14 days, you have 14 days for free. And that's going to allow you to test things out, see if this is for you, see the results that are in there, and see the community for yourself before you commit to anything long term. Now, recently we were in a Bitcoin short. Just to give you an idea and an update of the trades we were in, we were able to enter a Bitcoin short up here after the successful Ethereum trades that we have, and that's already hit 3 out of the 4 targets, I believe, at least at the time of recording this video. I'm not sure where it is by the time you guys are watching, but at least 3 of the 4 targets have been hit, and that has been overall very, very successful, especially since Bitcoin has been going down. But let's take a look at exactly what's going on. Really quick, let's adjust this. This is what most people were looking at recently, right? This is what we were looking at. A lot of people were looking at this pattern, and we were waiting to see if Bitcoin was going to have a breakout. Now, this is the 4-hour chart, and on the 4-hour chart, you'll notice it's starting to look like we're having a breakout. But before we dive into that, before we fully commit to that, we can see the EMA ribbon. We're breaking below the EMA ribbon. That's bearish on the 4-hour trend, obviously. We all know that. We always keep an eye out on that to know exactly what the trend is and what we can follow. Now we're starting to see the break below the actual bigger support. The big issue here is that we don't have the volume to back this up. So without the volume, this is not the breakout that a majority of people thought, or the majority of people are still waiting for. So there could still be room for us to see a breakout in either direction. So what does that mean? 2 things we have to watch out for here. Either the potential retest of the support to see if we get rejected there, or a lot of people are talking about this as well. And this is very, very valid. If we move this support over around here, all of a sudden we have another point where we have several points of touching over and over again. We have a lot of points of where we met the support, and this is also a very valid pattern, right? This is a very valid support. So we need to wait to see exactly how this plays out to see if we do break below or if we do break above this, and we need to have the volume to back it up. That's why it's crucial, and I tell you guys for a long, long time, and telling you, make sure you have the volume to back up any move. And since it's a weekend, since it's a Saturday, usually volume is a little bit lower, so we can see these crazy movements a lot more. So I want to give you guys an update on the pattern. Bitcoin breaking out of the other pattern, potentially waiting to see how exactly that plays out. But in terms of this pattern right here, we don't have the volume to back up the previous pattern. So now we're looking at the support that we're at right now and seeing if Bitcoin is going to break below that. Keep an eye out on that. That's going to be the next big major thing that I'm looking at, and we're going to be talking about $3,000 Bitcoin in just a little bit. Notice one thing about the stock market, the traditional markets, the Dow Jones, right? We're going to take a look at this because it had a rebound of roughly 31%. Now, this is no particular stock. This is the Dow Jones I told you guys. However, different stocks are going to behave a little bit differently. This is currently, it's at 23, almost 24,000, having a low of just over 18,000. 30% in the traditional markets is a very, very good return, and that happened in just a few days. The bottom came in on the 23rd of March, and currently it's the 9th of April. So those type of returns are not the type of returns that you're used to seeing in this market. In that short period of time, markets don't move that much. Now, what I'm looking at right now, and a lot of people have been talking about in April, or within I'd say the next month, are talking about a potential pullback or another 20 to 30% drop. 20% drop, let's say that just to, average it out. A lot of people are talking about a potential 20% drop. Think about where that would take us. That would take us to a double bottom potentially, right? It would take us into the support that we are at, that we found during this level over here. So it could tie in very perfectly to allow the second wave of people to get an opportunity to pick up some very cheap stocks and allow for the gains that we're not used to seeing in the traditional markets for allow us to see that. So since I told you guys before that I look for opportunity, and that's basically where I invest. I invest where there's opportunity. I see opportunity in this right now. So there is a link down below if you guys are interested in claiming free money, free stocks on Robinhood if you guys are interested in the stock market. And I've talked a little bit more about that in previous videos, so I don't want to talk about that too much. Just keep an eye out on that. I know a lot of people are, sticking only to one thing. That can be dangerous. That can work out, but it can be dangerous. It can be risky. I'd rather just look for opportunity because to me that's the game that I'm playing. So for those of you who are interested in that and you are following along, keep an eye out for a potential move to dollar cost average, because then the returns could be very safe. There could be very good returns for how safe the investment is, if that makes sense. As long as you're investing obviously in big names, in the overall Dow Jones, right? If you're investing in that, it makes the investment very low risk, but being able to make 30-50% in a short period of time and then even more as it recovers is a very good return for the amount of risk that you're actually putting in. Now the BitMEX CEO, obviously we know we got a lot of messages from him and he's been relatively bearish, I'd say, Arthur Hayes, on the short-term price of Bitcoin. He said that it is absolutely possible for Bitcoin to retest $3,000. Now keep in mind here as well, when you ask the question, is it possible for Bitcoin to retest $3,000? You're not asking if he thinks it's going to retest it. You're not asking if he's predicting it that it's going to retest. You're asking him, could it retest? Bitcoin could retest $1 for all I know. It could. It's not probable. I'm not going to bet on it. I'm not going to predict that that's going to happen, but it could, and it could go to $1,000 and it could go to $100,000. It could do whatever it wants, right? It's as simple as that. So keep that in mind when you're seeing those articles. I do think if we have a big breakout from here, just judging about where the $3,000 level is or within that range, right? If we do break above here and it does go that far down, we could see another 40 to 50% drop for Bitcoin if that is the case. Now again, hopefully that's not something we see happen. I know a lot of people are going to panic sell if that does, and that's the main reason why I say hopefully. To the people who are ready to take opportunity or ready to catch the opportunity, right, then I hope it does happen before we hit the new all-time high. I hope it does happen. It's going to allow a lot more people to dollar cost average in, to get in at low prices and allow those people to be successful and to make more money long term. And so if that's what you're trying to do, then I hope that does work out. But keep an eye out. Again, it ties into what I said before. Keep an eye out on the opportunity. If it drops to a cheaper price and you expect it to hit a new all-time high eventually, catch that opportunity. Go for that opportunity. It's a good opportunity to get in instead of panicking. Most people are like, they're ready, yeah, as soon as Bitcoin hits $3,000, I'm gonna buy a ton more Bitcoin. I'm gonna sell my house. Then Bitcoin hits $3,000 and they sell all their Bitcoin because all of a sudden their emotions get in the way, they panic sell, and it's all gone. Don't be that guy. That guy loses 100% of the time. Don't be that guy. Just a little bit of a tip there. Now, before we actually go into the news, let's take a look at the market. $120 billion $195 billion market cap. Almost, sorry, I was reading the volume. $195 billion market cap. Thank God it's not 120 right now. That would have been a big drop. Bitcoin's at 6,800, like we said, around there. Not too much in the last 24 hours after the drop. It is traded relatively sideways. It's down 0.5%. Nothing major. Biggest gainer of the day, Gollum, a good crypto, ranked 88 right now, potentially a good opportunity for it to recover. It was ranked better before, up 10, just under 11%. Makers there, Chainlink, Kyber Network, a lot of cryptocurrencies in the green. However, like I said, 50-50 split with Bitcoin trading sideways, 50-50 split for green and red. Keep in mind though, most of them are very small gains. Most of them are very tiny moves to either 1% up or 1% down, which overall in crypto, it means nothing. It's a sideways day in the market. I'm sure at this point, you guys already know that. Now let's move into a little bit of news, because usually we don't have a lot of news. There's a little bit more coming out, especially from some big names. Justin Sun went on a tweeting spree when it came to Poloniex launching the Launchbase. It's a world-leading token sale platform, as Poloniex strategic partner, Tron Foundation, and Justin Sun will fully support the Launchbase platform and its future development. So that came from the tweet from Poloniex. Big news, we're proud to announce the release of the Launchbase. The first project is newly launched, just Tron Foundation-based decentralized stablecoin lending platform. So again, developments coming in from the space from some relatively big names in Justin Sun in Tron. He then went on to say Tron will be the only eligible currency for purchases. Over the past 6 years, Poloniex has helped hundreds of quality blockchain grow and develop their community, and so forth and so forth. You guys can go on and read more about this if you guys are interested. The main thing, the main takeaway, it's the new Tron powered IEO platform, and that exchange moves closer, of course, to Justin Sun's orbit. What that means is it aligns closer with the interests. It gets closer to the interests of Tron and Justin Sun. So relatively big news that came out there. So if you guys are interested in seeing more about that, then you can go ahead onto Poloniex website, depending on what country you're from, and you'll be able to check that out. Now, the next piece of news, which I thought was interesting, was Oobit. Now, here it released a Coinbase-powered sky scanner for Bitcoin. So they were actually developing a lot of really interesting things for KYC, and they were developing a lot of interesting things for people to use in the space. One of them was the Oobit Hunter, right? The Hunter. That was the AI-based algorithm that allows price discovery and fast purchase across multiple fiat to crypto platforms based on user needs and including P2P transactions. Now, keep in mind with everything going on right now and people are stuck at home, maybe it's time to take a look at P2P as a very viable source. Now, something else that a lot of people have issues with exchanges is the fact that you have to do your KYC every time you sign into an exchange, every single exchange that you go into, right? Not every time you sign in, every time you're a new user to an exchange, you have to do your KYC, and that's for every exchange that you go to. It's time consuming. A lot of people are gonna not go to an exchange just because of that, because they don't wanna do KYC everywhere. So what they're trying to create is a pass. Now this pass is going to be a place where you can create your KYC and then have that available already for every different exchange. So you don't have to do it for every single time. You do it one time and that works for every different exchange. That's another very interesting thing that I thought, one of the most interesting ones that I thought that they were working on, because I think that's going to help not only exchanges get more people on board, because they're not going to be deterred by having to do KYC every single time, but it just makes a more seamless process. It makes an easier process having to do something only once. Now the pass also uses advanced face and optical character recognition, and all data is secured with military grade local encryption to protect identity theft. So again, like I said, with everything going on right now, the P2P side of things are actually really interesting to be able to do that, and I think that tied in with the KYC, which I know is a big issue for a lot of people. I think that's really cool as well. So I want to share with you guys some of the developments that are going on that I see not a lot of people talk about, and I think very, very positive overall. But guys, that's gonna be it for this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, don't forget to leave a thumbs up and leave a comment down below letting me know what you think of a $3,000 Bitcoin. Do you think we're gonna get there? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys on Monday for another video.